Alright, it's been a while since I've made a video, but today we are going to make a video on this beautiful receiver, which is my 1970 Pioneer SX-9000. So this 1970 Pioneer came with a lot of its original specs, including the advertisement booklet here and the owner's manual, even the caution paper, which is pretty cool, and the mountain table modeled. So diving into this little booklet here, it goes over the specs of the SX-9000, which the first thing, of course, they advertise is the built-in reverberation amplifier, which I will demonstrate later in this video, which was very unique to the SX-9000, as I believe is one of two Pioneer receivers that has reverb. Other features that this reverb amplifier had was microphone mix-in. We got a variety of inputs and outputs, which is handy, and I'll show you how I have my stereo set up later in the video with those inputs and outputs. We got tone color selector, speaker selector, pre-main switch, and just a lot of cool features for this thing being from 1970. And the back shows you the more technical side of things, which I will show here, so if you want to take a pause of the video. But this amplifier originally retailed for $499.95, so it wasn't Pioneer's top model, but it was one of their more higher end lineup from that time. Now this is my favorite part of the owner's manual, is the front panel facilities page, and it goes over and spec every little spec there is on the front panel, which is very useful because when I first got this, coming from a 535 down to this, which I don't mean down, but down in year size, there was a lot for me to learn about this, so this was very useful to go over just everything that I need to know, from the speakers and the volume, which you got two volume knobs, which are the source and master, which is pretty neat, and just to get to know your SX-9000. So this SX-9000 has been completely restored since I have gotten it. So last year, as I got a dust under there, but anyways, last year as a college graduation gift, my dad found this all original 1970 Pioneer SX-9000. He got it for a steal of the deal. The lady he bought it from was cleaning out the house of the original owner, so it came with all those original goodies I showed previously, but the thing needed some work. When I had the reverb on, when I turned the reverb on, it was popping, so that turned out to be a bad transistor. All the electrolytic and main filter capacitors have all been replaced. There are some nice 3D printed parts in here. I also had blown a fuse while trying to clean it, so the right fuse was blown, so that is originally why I went to the restoration guy. But I also needed full-on LED light upgrading, as a lot of the original lighting was gone, including the knob for the radio indicator. But what I'm going to do now is go through a little walkthrough of the buttons on the face panel here. So first, just revealing the buttons. You got the buttons all here, including that beautiful green reverb button. Here's the top. And now one of my favorite things about this thing is just look how long the power button is, because when you put the power knob like this, obviously it sticks out a little bit, but when you pull it out, it is really just something. But anyways, you power it on and it turns to life, and this beautiful green with that orange Pioneer logo. Right now I have it on aux tape, and you change the selector by over here on the way, all the way to the right. And what I'm going to do now is demonstrate that, because there is something really cool about this SX-9000 when you change the selector, is you change the color.
Movie store today.
This one has a
So I'm gonna put it back to aux, but as you can tell, it goes from different colors, and it kind of reminds me of my first 8-track player, which was a little Craig 3302, I believe. Or is it 3302. I'm getting confused with my first cassette deck, and that had allowed the same color buttons actually that you would indicate to change the program, but the same shade and whatnot. So, and that was from 1971. So this is from the same time period. So here are the two headphone outputs. I actually had never seen it like this, just holding perfectly still. So I'm gonna take it as I can. So here is the bass, the treble, the reverb. You got the low, the high, the FM, and loudness. You got the balance, which I keep at the center, mode, and mic levels. And I usually have it on loudness because I kind of like my music a little loud and it sounds a little louder. But I could always turn it off like that. And I have these buttons I don't really mess with. Obviously, when I use reverb, I put this on. Treble's good. This thing does get a little bassy paired with my speakers, which are CS-77As. And yeah, I kind of sometimes move this one around, but I usually keep it on this setting all the way to the left, reverb, or left to right. But it does make a difference of changing the knob when you're listening to music, different music genres. And obviously I don't use these buttons. So before I put on a record and demonstrate the photo input and the auxiliary tape input, I'm gonna show a little bit of the FM input, which is really cool because it has a little red dot as the radio indicator, or radio channel indicator. So to do that, you just switch over to photo, change the color in, and you can see right here, I'm gonna turn down the volume. You can see the little red dot, and then tune in here. You can see the signals, that early 70s Pioneer. And you got another button that shows the FM stereo. So that is how the FM works, and it just looks beautiful with a little red dot. You know, you can just follow it. It's like a cat with a laser, you know? Just move it down. You got that beeping or blinking, and then you got the signals. Oh, it's just so classy. So with those extra input and output sources that I was originally telling you guys about at the beginning of this video, I'm going to show you how I have everything set up in my system. Now this is my bedroom, so I don't have the most of spaces. So that's why I'm going to say that before everybody goes, why are your speakers on the same level? I tried to have everything leveled out, so the record player is not with the speakers, not on the same level as the speakers, but you know, we may do over space. So we have the reverb amplifier here, which is a SX-9000, and then going up to the shelf, we got this turntable, which is my PL41. Then we got my 8-track player, HR100, and then we got the CTF9191, and then we got the speakers, these CS-77As. And then actually moving over here, I do have a subwoofer hooked up, but I don't really use it as much. But I don't know why there's this mark right there, but it's a mono piece and it sounds pretty cool, but I don't really use it as much. So now I'm going to demonstrate the reverb, which is probably everybody's favorite part. So to turn it on, obviously you just turn it on like this, and when you turn it on, it is like kind of psychedelic. It's pretty neat, snazzy. Now I did have the SR-202W before getting this, and it had like the triangles, if you know what I mean, but these have the swirls, which is pretty cool. But this is the reverb, which I just love playing with. It's like so trippy. But anyways, I'm going to show you a little bit of how it works. I don't want to get like copyrighted, so I'm gonna put on some doo-wop, because actually doo-wop is really good with the reverb.
Boom, boom, boom.
quick demonstration of the tone color and see if that can be picked up on camera. If not, then just enjoy the next 10 or so seconds of listening to the Eagles on an 8-track. So like I said, it's over to phono or aux input right now instead of phono, and we're just gonna unpause the 8-track and then go through these. I'm gonna start off on Vivid. Now I'm gonna go over some of these buttons. So like I said, this is an absolutely stunning receiver. Just everything about it is so classy, early 70s look. You know, I'm not getting rid of it anytime soon. I feel like the reverb, as much as it a gimmick, I kind of like it. And I just love the colors on it, and it's just such a great receiver.